Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back here to week 2. We're going to be talking about process mapping and script building this week. Like I said, like the foundation leading up to building everything, this is all the hard part. This is a lot of the heavy lifting. After this, it pretty well just comes down to plugging everything in, right? Once you have everything mapped out, once you have everything drawn out, everything has a spot, and it's basically just drop, and off you go. If you're doing this all in Evernote, you're making your life a lot easier because you can just copy, paste, format it, and go. The tech stuff does actually, I shouldn't discredit it. It does take a lot more. I do that to myself all the time. I'm like, to the tech stuff, it's a lot easier. No, it's relative. It's pretty even. So let's get into this here. Problem and possibility. Problem. Basically, you're trying to play pickup sticks. Right? Basically, you're just dropping a bunch of sticks on the ground and you're trying to find them all and pick them up in an appropriate manner, hoping that something's going to work out. Hate to break it to you, not the case. It's not that simple. Nothing in life ever is. So, part of this, problem 1, not closing or setting up sales properly. What does that mean? As we discussed a little bit in the previous episodes here, is everybody, we all see the world through frames. We all have our frames, we have our frames that we see the world through, and that determines a picture, and we need to shift the frame, the mindset of where the person is, in order to lead them to the decision that we want. So not positioning the frame. And that all comes back to knowing your client, knowing your ideal audience, right? That leads us into trying to pitch everyone. Pitching everyone doesn't work. For each product, each service, each experience, and each audience, the foundation may be the same, but there's going to be little nuances, little details that are changed throughout the pitch. You can have one thing. You can have, like, once you draw it out once, that's good. But you're going to have to go back through and edit it to be on the level of the different audiences, or tailor it to the different products or services that you're offering, right? So that's a huge one. That ties into the not closing sales properly. Lack of leverage. And lack of clarity. These all tie in together, right? What does lack of leverage mean? Well, you need sufficient emotional leverage on a prospect, on a client, in order to get them to keep moving down the line, right? If you haven't done your research, if you haven't done your diligence on your audience, you're not going to know their pain well enough to get into it. And like I said previously, 80 to 90% is going to be pain. The other, say 10 to 15, is going to be backing that up with logic. And the last 5 to 10% of what you do is going to be solutions. And solutions never come until the very end. Never. Not until you're on the phone call, not until the very last piece of content that you're putting out there. Number 2, too much chaos. Right? So, unclear processes, you're jumping around too much. You're trying to go from A to D, back to B, and then on to F. It doesn't work. With that being said, you're just hoping something sticks. You're playing the hope game instead of the production game. that all comes down to a lack of discipline. And routine, which essentially has us wandering the dark, looking for light. Right? Blind, doing the zombie thing, walking through the dark, hoping that you hit your knee on something, hoping that you smoke your shin on something, stub your pinky toe on something, so that you know that you're on a path, so that you know whether you're in the right direction or not. It creates a lot of chaos, and that chaos gets passed on to your clients. Your clients pick up on that. It turns them off. They run away. They don't want anything to do with that, right? They get confused. They're getting told to do stuff that doesn't make sense. That there's just red flags going off in their mind. They're done. They're gone. That's it. It's that simple. 3, presentations are self-centered. What do I mean by that? That's a good question. I am very glad that you asked. Too much focus on what you do or can do. And part of that is presenting solutions too soon. If the content that you're putting out there is all me, I, this is what I'll do for you, this is my offer, people are like, whatever, buddy. Like, what do you know about me? Well, what makes you the authority? See what I'm saying? You see where I'm going here? So not enough about them. The dialogue is one-sided. Not conversational. You're going to hear me beat that up a lot. Make everything conversational. And ambiguous or unclear messaging. So let's break this down a little bit more. So when you're putting too much me or too much I into your presentations, into your content, into your scripts, your videos, whatever the case may be, people just tune out. They don't relate that back to me. Everything that you're putting out there, people are constantly going to be watching this going, what's in it for me? Why me? How can this enhance my life? How can this solve my problems? What can this do for me? They're not thinking about you. I mean, it's great. I'm not discrediting your experience. I'm not discrediting what you've been through, your education, any of that. It's good, and it serves its purpose. It serves its purpose very well. But there's a time and a place for that. It's inappropriate to be putting it like, don't emphasize it too much and don't emphasize it too soon. It's a very fine line, and how to walk that line depends on your audience, right? You just gotta know your audience. You gotta know who you're talking to. And a lot of this is going to be testing. It might work near the front, but it might be more appropriate in the middle. And unless you're testing and you're playing with this kind of stuff, once it's all set up and optimizing, you're just not going to know. You're never going to know. So the dialogue becomes one-sided because they're sitting there thinking, well, why me? What's in it for me? How does this affect me? How does this make my life better? And you're spending all your time going on about you. I think you guys get the point. And with the unclear messaging, with being ambiguous, it's just you're leaving people hanging. Like, it's just, we tend to leave people hanging. We don't give them enough guidance. We don't tell them what to do, so they just sit there going lost. They're like, okay, now what? Now what? Like, right? So you don't want to be that guy. The other thing is you're walking down a dead end alley. Looking for a door. What does that mean? Messaging is inconsistent. Your flow is full of roadblocks. Or lack of direction. It's lacking conversation. And complicated or unclear next steps. So let's break this down and define this a little bit for you. So inconsistent messaging. I mean, you could be talking about one product, service, or experience, jump into another. You could be talking to multiple audiences all at the same time. What this does is it sets up a frame. It said people start seeing through an unclear lens, and it puts you in a place of operating out of integrity, right? People are like, well, like it gives them the impression that there's no integrity there, that there's something lacking. Having roadblocks or a lack of direction. So it's like, okay, well, we're going down this path. Oh, wait, now we're over here. Or now we're over here. And it just leaves them going, well, I thought we were going this way, and now you're telling me to go this way. It doesn't work, right? Lacking conversation, and that falls back into all the other, like, oh, you see how, are you starting to see how all of this ties in together? Like, it just, it's very uncanny in a sense. So there you go. So what is the possibility? We're just going to quick erase this. What is the possibility? Full disclosure and transparency. Two, they end up begging to give you money. Simple, clear, concise steps and messaging. 4, clients know, see, they know and see that you care. And I can't put enough emphasis on that one. That you're invested in their success. And they're thankful for the opportunity to do business with you. So what does this mean for you? Where does this come in? Well, when everything is clear, when everything is concise, and the flow is smooth, that's full disclosure and transparency. They know what's going on. They know where the process that you're guiding them through and the process in their head is matching up at a rate that it's just natural. It makes sense to go. They're compelled to move forward. They end up begging you to give you money because everything is so simple, clear, and concise that it's like, well, I need to do business with you. Get me. You understand me, right? And that allows them to be in a space where they know, they see that you care. They see that you're invested in their success. And they're thankful for the opportunity to do business with you. They want to do business with you. Make sense? You guys follow that so far? I know it's quite a bit to take in, isn't it? This is why we broke the videos. This is why I broke the videos down the way I did. So I hope this helps. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video. We're going to get into a little bit more of the philosophy behind it, and we will chat soon. Cheers.